Hey guys, Brett here connecting from UbiCentral, and yesterday we got a ton of new information about Beyond Good and Evil 2, so let's get started. In case you missed it, Ubisoft did a 30-minute live stream going over some new details about the game. At the start of the stream, they mentioned even though it's called Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's actually a prequel to the first game. They then go on to show a timeline for the entire universe, just to give you some backstory to the world. So just to recap this for everyone, the timeline begins on Earth in 2040 for what was known as the Golden Age of Science. This period of time kickstarted everything that we'll learn about in the prequel, and it all began with the creation of a highly stylized propulsion system. Moving on to 2063, data centers, more specifically AI, started turning against everyone. This caused civilization to go back to regular ways of communication. The first talking hybrid made its debut in 2086, and this creation promoted a very cynical worldview about life. In 2108, ships labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 left Earth to explore the vast universe. The downside of this is once a ship left, it can no longer communicate with Earth, so this made all future discoveries a mystery. In 2225, more specifically in System 3, we're starting to see new cities populate on different planets. This is where players will mostly explore in Beyond Good and Evil 2. In 2314, there was a massive ship massacre that happened in System 3. Before this, there had never been a massive act of aggression against a ship, and the mystery surrounding what actually happened continued to remain a mystery. 2360 is the golden age of piracy. This is where we start to see the destruction of corporations and the rise of different factions. After that, Jade, the main character from the first game, was born, although the developers didn't give a specific year for some reason. And last but not least, Beyond Good and Evil 2 takes place sometime after her birth, but again, the game is a prequel, so it takes place before the first game as well. As for the main character in Beyond Good and Evil 2, you actually get to create him, or her, or it. The developers showed a nice little screenshot to give you an idea of what some of the customization will be like. They also stated that since you're a pirate, you can shape the worlds the way you want. So if you don't want to be a good character, nothing will stop you. On top of that, everyone you meet could potentially become part of your crew, even enemies. And each crew member will have a role to play on your ship. And speaking of the worlds, the developers mentioned that the game will be seamless, meaning that there will be no loading screens, which is pretty insane considering that you can just fly straight to space. Now, during this live stream, they showed off new gameplay and answered questions, so I'm going to play those parts of the live stream because, they'll explain everything better than I do. They made the game. But if you want to watch the entire live stream, which I definitely recommend doing, I'll have a link in the description. Anyways, let me know what you all think about everything in the comments down below. The developers did state we'll be seeing a lot more content at E3, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, enjoy the rest of the video.
Just one comment, that was too short. But we want to keep a lot of things for E3. So
Yeah.
that's so we fight all together about that, but this is just okay, they're just showing few seconds.
Yeah.
But there's so much to discover for E3 also. But yeah, if you look carefully at what we've just shown, there is one very important thing, is that everything is connected.
Exactly.
You can do everything anywhere at any time. It means that you can have a fight inside of a spaceship that is being attacked So maybe you are inside of the spaceship. That's part of, if you look carefully, at some point you have Nox, our monkey, is inside a huge spaceship that is being attacked. And he could fight into that spaceship. He could need to get out.
Trying to escape, because it's going to explode, of course.
While the spaceship is collapsing, this huge spaceship. And this is not scripted. This is not a sequence that will happen here and never again. This is just because it happened, because something attacked, or maybe you attacked that ship. And now, as you can see it, here it just collapsed because of your actions. So it's really systemic. It's really epic things you can live with your friends or alone. And those things, they have no boundaries. There's no loading. That's why this game is taking so much time to be done. A lot of people said, why is it so long? Come on, release the game this year if you can. There is so much to do for this game just to make this possible. Imagine the amount of information that are needed to allow this kind of thing to happen, because the spaceship you are fighting on can move at 2,000 kilometers per hour, maybe more. So everything needs to work nicely, smoothly, like this super attack. So that's where the game DNA is revealed.
That seamless aspect Michel is talking about is really what we want to show as a prototype in that video. As you can see, we are mixing close quarter combat, sword fight, dog fight, battleship fight, all of that in the same
on different scales.
On different scales, yes, because the engine is allowing us to do that. And so that seamless aspect is what really, to us, makes exciting what we do. And I have to remind as well that you can play this with your friends, so you can also do this in co-op.
Yeah, you can see it in one of the footage. I think it's pretty.
So what's not seen here, what is not shown here, is that of course you can go in space, see your friends from space, continue the fighting, or see the actions. You can go in cities while all these things are happening. Exactly. So you will discover more of this for E3, of course. But we wanted to share a few seconds of that.
And what we're revealing for the first time is the melee combat. Something also coming from Beyond Good and Evil 1, so we're keeping the same DNA.
So a lot of people may ask, but what is making that combat different from another game?
Exactly.
Just one thing is that you can, as you've seen it, you can attack from your spaceship. Start one attack very high and attack down. You can use your
flying ships.
You can use your.
You can step on a flying ship and be fighting someone on it. So,
you can use your jetpack during an attack to dodge or to escape very quickly, or jump onto another spaceship. So that's the combinations of all those gameplay.
Exactly.
For E3, we will talk more about in-depth gameplays, about things that are making all those different gameplays deep and more able to sustain long time and play styles and all these things. But again, here we wanted to share this piece of footage.
Yes, it's a kind of a sneak peek for you guys.
Yes.
So brothels could be a place where pirates gather intel and get some downtime. Will we be seeing brothels in the game? This was a question from Kierok on our forums. What do you think?
When you look at the trailer for last E3, you have those kind of dark places. That's part of the pirate way of life. The treatment we will make we will be careful about the different aspect of that, but it's part of this kind of world. That's what you can expect. It's a mature game. We don't want to be half pirate or something like that. We want to go in the full role, and it's really about playing the space pirate at 200%. It's very important.
One direction that we give to the team, and maybe I've said it already last Twitch, but is we're making a space pirate game, right? So everything that pirates do, you just put space in front of it and you do it in the game. It's a key direction for us. So so to answer that question, we have Space Tortuga Islands where pirates, live their life and spend their money and have fun. And yes, we will have Space Tortuga Islands.
Female characters in video games are usually young and sexy or old and not sexy. How about sexy old lizard women?
I think the key word is that we don't want usual things or too usual things. We want all kind of things. You know, that's the theme of. That's why we choose pirates.
Exactly.
Because pirates, they can have scars on their face. They can be small, tall. You know, every genders, every styles, every ethnic origins, every animal origins.
They're okay with diversity. That's something they embrace. Yeah.
That's why I want to play that game. You know, I want to, as an example, I want to build my team with just monkeys. Maybe I'm closer to monkeys than humans. I don't know why it's my nature, what's pushing me into this direction, but I don't want the game to stop me or to, you know, to prevent me from doing this kind of thing. I want to be able to express myself. So yeah, that's a place about Beyond Good and Evil is about diversity, and it's quite important for us.
Yeah, but definitely, I mean, to this question, maybe we won't have this exact example in the game, but our universe supports. Yeah, of course, it fits in the universe. Yes.
Yes.
Will we get answers to the cliffhanger from BGNE1?
I would say yes and no, which is
best answer.
Good answer.
No, because it's a prequel, so
exactly.
We are not going to tell what happened after, which is the purpose of this cliffhanger. And I would say yes because most of the mysteries you've seen or you heard and you discovered in Beyond Good and Evil 1 will be revealed or will be explained, or somehow you will face them, you will understand better the origins of Jade.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a big mystery into Beyond Good and Evil 1. Where is she coming from? Who is she? And who are the Doms, for example? Many questions. We want to dig into those questions because
and even the hybrids, it's as simple as that. Because in Beyond Good and Evil, you had hybrids and you had no idea where they're coming from. And here we're going to explain the origins of the hybrids.
It's really a fun moment for us and for you guys with the community, because this BGNE universe is wide and we've got many areas to explore, and we really working in the direction of making it as wide as possible as a universe. So we will dig into more detailed questions that left the first game open, and we will open some new stuff as well. So it's really an immensely rich universe that we want to work with. Yeah.
It's also a way to have people that have never played Beyond Good and Evil 1. I know there are very few people.
Maybe a few of them.
Everybody played it.
Maybe 10 or... no, it's a way for newcomers to discover the world, and they don't need to have played Beyond Good and Evil 1. They will discover that world naturally, you know, just by being into the world. Look, you know, we don't want people to go into books or things like that. Just by playing the game, you will feel the history, you will understand.
You will learn more about the world as you play the adventure. As
just
you talk
when
to
you
people.
see giant spaceship, you know, carrying, mining somewhere and bringing the stuff into another city, when you see these kind of things happening, you understand how the world is built, what is happening, and that's the way now worlds are built. You know, in video games, they have to connect with some logical things, so they have to be believable.
Yeah, we have to develop things and stories that are very that we don't even see in games, but that are there for the credibility of the world.
Well, also related to BGNE1. The camera gameplay in the first game was one of the main things, one of the big things that there was to do in the game, and people are wondering, more specifically Lab Pleb on Discord, they want to know if the camera gameplay is something that has been worked on, if we've made new design decisions or even actual implementation of that in BGNE2.
So as you know, you're not playing a journalist anymore in Beyond Good and Evil 2. You're playing a space pirate captain. But we kept the idea of the camera, but it's not a camera anymore because you're a pirate, you have a spyglass. And this spyglass has kind of the same functions that the camera used to have in Beyond Good and Evil 2, but even more things. So you're going to be able to take pictures with it, scan the environment to get more info, all sorts of things. Again, we're not revealing everything today, but it's very a powerful tool also to explore the world, to get more info about the world. So yeah, spyglass will be something pretty
Spyglass
useful.
power.
Exactly.
Will you find information in the game on what happened to the other systems? So system 4, 5.
So I'm really happy that someone is asking this question, because it's exactly why the world is made like that.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
important to keep things mysterious.
Mm.
And
it means he or she followed really carefully the presentation of Emil.
Yes, yes.
and we're very happy
Nice.
about that. Yes, there will be connections, but we say that they spread into space, because now they are distant from each other. But yeah, connections are possible for reasons you will understand later, and we don't want to spoil everything. But it's quite the interesting of creating such a rich world, is that you can have many stories, growing from that.
And it's great if people are already imagining connections, stories with what we've been
Absolutely.
showing today.
And
so
we can't wait for stories,
Yes.
made by the Space Monkeys.